Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening again, Hannah Stewart.
Thank you for having me again.
So great to have you pinch hitting in for Trisha Walsh.
Yes, yes.
It's been wonderful. I tell you, I've had a great time with you. We've done a
As
couple of
have I,
shows
yes.
together, and I think, wow,
We have some good chemistry here.
we have some really good chemistry here. So what's going on?
We have the Mystic Outdoor Art Festival coming up.
Okay.
It's about a month away.
Right.
We are still looking for volunteers, so if anyone's interested in volunteering, it's going to be August 9th and 10th in historic downtown Mystic. Over 250 artists participating.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, so we definitely have a need for volunteers, street captains, people helping out in the information booths, a lot going on. So,
You know, it's really funny because we've done this this will be, if I participate, probably my 13th year with the Mystic Outdoor Art Festival. It's a great event just to see all your neighbors and friends, the artisans, the crafters, and rain or shine, okay?
Yes.
And nobody put a dark cloud over the Mystic Outdoor Art Festival. But anyways, we've got great guests this evening.
Wonderful guests,
Again,
yes.
and I want to introduce to my left, the one and only Allie Kaufman, to my right, Amy Lee.
Thanks for having us.
Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters, Amy.
Thank
This is
you.
your second time around. So we have the Blues Festival.
We do. We do.
That's coming up. I can't believe it. What are the dates?
June 27th, 28th, and 29th. This year, we are returning. We've earned the right to say it's our second annual
there you go.
festival.
I thought I'd let you do the announcement on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the second annual Mystic Blues Festival, and where is it going to be located this year?
The shipyard.
Okay.
Shipyard. We did have it at the shipyard last year. We
Okay.
really condensed, and it seemed to really work well for us. Jeff, we want to send out
Jeff,
a big
great
thanks
guy.
to
Yeah.
him because
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it was a little bit like, what's happening here? And
Yeah.
then he just fell in love with it, and rightfully so. I
But
think
why
it was-
wouldn't you fall in love with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really got lucky. We had a great time last year. It was a great turnout. It's an absolutely beautiful venue to see music, and we're really blessed with a tent. Not only did we have a tent last year, this year it's almost tripled in size.
Wow.
So it's not only going to cover the artists. You'll have coverage from the beautiful sunshine that I'm sure we're going to get that weekend.
And this
Yes.
is rain or shine, though.
Rain or
Absolutely.
shine.
All right, just want to
correct?
make sure.
Rain or
Absolutely.
shine.
But it is open. I mean, you're not inside of a tent by any
Yes.
means. But I just want to let people know because it's a family event, and sometimes
Yeah.
with kids, it's a concern, with the sun beating down and stuff. But it's a beautiful stage. The other thing about our stage under that tent is the music is really seamless. You don't have to worry about with other festivals. Am I going to miss something? Do I have to run to another stage?
It's right there in front of you.
It's right there
Yeah,
in front of you, and,
yeah.
and we have this wonderful way of having our artists seamlessly change. When one band ends, another one takes up. So as they're switching out their equipment, the music keeps going.
Right,
And
right.
there's so much great music we've got coming
And there's
for you.
there's a little bit of a time frame in there for them to switch their
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Really not.
Music.
I mean, you'll see me up on stage talking about who's coming next, and boom,
We just
it's
have
right
to
there.
focus on you. That's it. That's all, Allie. That's it. We're done with that.
Why else would I be involved,
I
right?
think it's fantastic.
So, who are some of the performers that you have coming this year? Some repeats, but also some new folks, correct?
Exactly. And that again, I don't know if I want to call them repeats, but I'll tell you that last year there were artists that wanted to sign up from the get-go, right after they got off stage.
Retention.
Yes.
JMO, the drummer for the Allman Brothers, again, they had a very big year. He's coming back with us. Miss Christine Ullman, who is, of course, not only is she a national favorite, but we like to claim her as our own here in Connecticut.
Of course we do.
Yes, we do. And last year there was a really great moment when she was on stage with Matt Guitar Murphy, whom a lot of people know from the Blues Brothers, and he's coming back. So there's a good chance that we're going to have another one of those moments during this year's Mystic Blues Festival. Brand new to the festival is Johnny Winter this year. We're super excited. He's had an amazing year.
Johnny Winter. It's great. Yeah, he's had a great year.
Amazing. He's got some new music coming. He's got a movie out. He's really been touring all over, just coming back from Spain and Europe now. And we're going to have him. We also have, on Friday night, this is really interesting, and I actually just interviewed them today, actually, the Spin Doctors. I don't know if you remember them from back in the day.
I do remember them. I love hoping you'd say back in the day. I mean, I was, did you see the hesitant, Allie? I was like, I didn't want to say, yes!
Which day was that, last week? Yeah.
Yes, but very exciting.
It is exciting. They're coming back, and they've got a brand new CD out called If the River Was Whiskey. And this is their foray into the blues, which actually isn't very new for them. That was really what they started with way back. So we're really excited. I just saw them in Manhattan, or no, Brooklyn, I'm sorry, like 2 weeks ago, and I got to tell you, they were fabulous. The crowd went nuts. So we're really excited to kick it off on Friday night. Chris Lee is going to be starting with 8 to the Bar.
Who is that Chris Lee?
Who is that?
Yeah, who is that?
Who is that guy?
Yeah.
So he's going to be kicking it off on Friday night. As we said, we do start in the evening on Friday night.
Right.
Spin Doctors
What
are on
time now, Allie? Because we want to get that out there too.
5 o'clock, I
Yep.
believe, is when it starts.
5 o'clock on Friday.
Great.
Yeah, yeah. And then again, you know, as we were talking a little earlier, that it's such a wonderful experience. You're there, you're really enjoying the music, the vendors, and you might not want to go home. So I definitely want to mention about Downtown Mystic, how they've really partnered with us.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
You know, the restaurants and the different venues downtown are really going to continue the fun. So once you've had a great day with us, you know, at the Shipyard, you know, please keep in mind everything going on in Mystic, because there's going to be a lot of venues that are going to have blues bands, and who knows if our artists might wander on down and find a
Thank
little
you for
jam.
that,
Yeah.
Allie. Thank you for that.
great.
That's right.
Well, Amy, it's really interesting. I mean, it's the second year, okay? And this was really you and Chris, you know, not originally, but you had this in mind. And that now it's just, you know, we're putting Mystic on the map. How does that make you feel?
It's tremendous. I mean, we're incredibly grateful to everyone that's been involved, and it's very, very exciting. I mean, no matter how hard you work, no matter how long the day is, you get together with this amazing group of people, all of whom are volunteering their time, 100%.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
And there's no way to not be completely invigorated. A lot of people talked about the festival last year as a love fest, and it really was, and that energy has continued to build and grow. We are so grateful to all of the members of the community who have everybody doing a little piece here and a little piece there have brought this all together. So we're joined in our commitment to bringing Mystic to, you know, a greater audience, letting people know that this is a place where you can see amazing music. I
Virtually
think,
putting Mystic, and thank you to all of you, on the map.
well, and I'd hate to not, you know, Mystic Pizza, you know.
Yes, oh, absolutely.
And there, you know, and I think we're hoping to do that same kind of thing, to remind people that this amazing place is here. I mean, we love it. We live here. We think that it's a destination that should be recognized internationally, that folks should come to. We also think that the artists themselves are something special, and that when folks come here, they can get a little bit of that flavor. And we're very happy to be highlighting and showcasing that for our fellow community members. I mean, there's a lot of talent here, and we want to show that. Absolutely. I should also say, too, while we're talking about downtown and we're talking about our merchants, you know, you can get tickets online for the festival, but you can also get paper tickets at many of these places. And
Participating.
Absolutely. Participating local merchants that, and you can check the list out online, but some of them would be, you know, Tidal River, Drawbridge Ice Cream, Mystic Disc, Wayne's Barbershop, the Mystic Chamber.
Yes.
You know, we have a really nice list of you know, places where, you know, merchants are saying, yeah, let me get physically involved. Let me help you by selling tickets. And
That's great.
And then in addition, like Allie mentioned, they might have specials or things that they put out there to get people excited about coming down and checking out their stores.
That's great.
So we're excited about that.
That's great. It really is
Absolutely.
great.
So what else can we expect with this second year of the festival?
Well, we absolutely have expanded our vendors, our food trucks, and our food services. You know, I think people really, there was a buzz that we started last year.
Definitely.
But again, with anything
A
that's
seed was planted.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, but anything that's brand new like that,
Sure.
it really, you know, we did our best to get the word out. I think we did a great job.
Did a fantastic job.
We really did. This
Yeah.
year, I'm actually a little more concerned about, you know, because it is an exclusive fest and we only have room for about 800 or so. So once the
Yeah,
tickets are
800
gone,
though, but you have it for three, I mean, there's going to be.
For 3 days.
For
Yeah.
3 days, so there's
Right.
an opportunity to have more people.
Absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that once now people, and the blues, there is a fan base out there. So definitely you want to get in, you want to make sure
Absolutely.
you're secured. It's going to be a really great time. As Amy said, there was a real family feel to it. We all really felt like we were it was our baby. And now, again, it's 2 years old, so it's starting to walk and it's going to start running. But we are really excited to welcome everybody. Again, the vendors, not only the food, but there's other shopping things too to look around at. Because sometimes when the blues, it's kind of a guy thing. And
We hate to admit that.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. You're right. You're right.
I'm going to use the line that I use all the time, that with the blues, you're never the oldest person in the audience when you go to the shows. And I love how the line for the men's room is far longer than for the ladies' room.
Oh, absolutely.
Every
Yeah,
time.
every
That's another
time.
plus.
Yeah.
But it does help that sometimes there's other things to do. We had a wonderful henna artist last year.
Yeah.
And sometimes the women are shopping, but they hear something and then they
Right.
kind of get into it. So I think that
right.
there's a lot for everybody to come in and enjoy.
And I'm glad you're talking a little bit about families too, because the getting started, we were focused on the concerts. We're starting to pull together more of the education side of things. That's really very important to us as well. I mean, Chris and I own a music school together. Education is extremely important to us. So the idea that this music is worth studying, that it's worth preserving, that it's worth
Oh,
sharing in a more
absolutely.
formal way, we really want to do that. And also, not just music, but all of the arts. So this year, in addition to having some drum clinics, we're going to have some Native American drum clinics. We're going to have the Art Miles mural project is going to be there, so there's going to be live painting going on during the concerts. We are working on getting swing dancing lessons for adults and for kids.
That's very
going on.
important. I mean, in the days of the Knickerbocker,
That's
back in the
right.
day.
Yeah,
that's okay. They're still there.
I think for most of us that grew up in the area, I think it was swing dancing through alcohol, and you did learn how to swing. Or
Yes, that's
I mean, you may be thrown around a couple of times, but anyways, yes, you ended up learning how to swing.
Yeah. It sounds like you're making this very interactive. You're really involving the
Yes.
community with all these different activities going on.
When you have 10 or 11 hours of music going on, I mean, honestly, do you really want to just sit for all that
Right.
time? Of course not. You want to be able to move around. So not only are we going to
Great
have...
idea.
It is,
Yeah, you want to be able to interact a little bit. So not only will we have those extra things, but we do have a shuttle service. We all of our parking, is going to be off-site again. So we are looking at running our shuttles from Fitch parking lot down to the shipyard to pick people up and drop them off. But we're going to swing down through downtown Mystic, down around the Daniel Packer Inn.
So there's no parking on the premises at all.
There's no parking
Except
on
for
the
the
premises.
artisans and-
Exactly.
Okay.
So no patron parking. You may walk, you may ride your bike. We recommend you bring a chain to lock it up. We'll have a space for you there, but we will not be parking cars there. So you just got to go up the road. We've made the shuttle service much more compact. We are using smaller vehicles, running more often to a smaller number of stops. So all of that should feel nice and quick and easy for everyone. We're going to have volunteer docents on all of our shuttles, so that there will always be a person there to help anybody that's coming or going know exactly what they need and where to go. So part of what we've done is we've really listened to everyone from last year, and we have tried to hit all of the points in the festival where people felt that they needed something. We want to make sure that we provide that for them. I mean, at the end of the day, this has to be as fun and easy and simple for our patrons as possible, and that's what
May I throw in one more thing?
Sure.
there, too?
Oh, absolutely,
This
Ally,
is
yeah.
something else that got added, and again, back to the artist, and it's so exciting to me. When you go to these festivals, I remember someone telling me that if an artist sells a CD, they have a fan, but if they sign a CD, they have a fan forever.
Absolutely.
So what we've done is we've really, on the artist's suggestion, expanded the table where they usually do merchandise. So you're going to have an opportunity once you see, someone like James Cotton, who we have coming back again.
Yes,
they're
seen
going to
him
be
several
there.
times, yes.
So that you can say hello. They'll sign a CD. They'll make a connection with you. And I think that, again, is something that really lends itself to the size festival we are in, and speaks volumes about the kind of connection that our artists seem to want to make with the fans that come. So that's something else we're really excited about. It's going to be an expanded area. It'll be a little easier to get to. We can't promise every single artist certainly will do that, but from what we're hearing, they all, the ones that I'm talking to sound like they're into that.
Right.
That they'll take some time and after the show,
Right.
be happy to say hello.
And thank you very much, Jeff. He's been such a great community person to even step up. And he does this for a lot of times. So hat off to you. But in the future, Allie, where do you see this? I mean, obviously there is constraints on the parking. There is constraints on the amount of people. Do you see this someplace bigger?
I think, my fondest wish, I'm a big fan of being in the present. I really am, enjoying the moment we're in and working towards something. I think when I look forward, I think about how, you see what Newport has done with the Newport Folk Festival
and the Jazz Festival.
George
yes.
Wein has,
and
George
he
Wein
even
is the founder of the Newport,
Right.
I'm sorry, the New Orleans Jazz Festival.
Right.
So, it doesn't hurt to dream big, and now that they do not have a blues festival, I think that's really exciting to kind of make our mark here in Mystic, which is such a beautiful and vibrant, not only vacation community, just a beautiful part of Connecticut, to really make our mark in the blues. I mean, Mystic does offer all types of music in several venues, but that's kind of my vision of it as I see going forward, is really making our mark with the blues and putting a real, true blues festival on the map for Connecticut and putting it right there. And again, my other great hope is that we really, again, make some strides with Connecticut Hospice, that we're able to really go ahead and, again...
the proceeds and
exactly. And I think that that's really how I see maybe those two things hand in hand going forward. And, again, the bigger we get, the more talent we can attract, that we can bring in and share with Connecticut. So I guess that's what I'm seeing. I certainly am not looking forward moving anywhere because it's such a beautiful, wonderful spot.
It's a gorgeous place.
Yes, it's more about bringing everyone to us and really becoming a premier blues destination that people say,
And
it's the end of June.
there is something, and I will tell you about exclusivity.
Yeah.
There is, because you get that die-hard blues customer, fan base, and there's an urgency there.
Yeah.
And to bring your families into the exclusivity, I think there's something to be said about that too.
Oh, absolutely.
And because their exclusivity creates credibility.
I've been trying to talk to people a lot about the intimacy of this
We're
setting.
saying the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just this idea that you don't always get the opportunity, as Ali said, to get that close to your artists. If you have a 20,000 person festival, I mean, it can be very difficult to kind of get that special experience, not just for the fans, but also for the artists. And we're finding that our artists are equally intrigued by the idea of having a bit of a smaller experience where they're not overwhelmed or mobbed, and they can have a really kind of quality interaction with their fans. It's been very positive.
That's great. So all of the proceeds from this event go to hospice care, correct?
Correct.
What made you choose hospice?
Well, this was something that my husband Chris and I had been talking about for a long time. His mother passed from cancer, and she did so with the help of hospice, and our family did so with the help of hospice. Members of our family have continued to take advantage of their bereavement services, which are free to any member of the community who's lost a loved one, regardless of whether that loved one was part of hospice services. So I just really appreciate what they're doing in terms of their whole community, and we were looking for something special to do for them in particular. So when we decided that we really needed to honor the community aspect of this and make this nonprofit, and knowing, I mean, we have so much confidence that this is going to be financially successful, so what are we going to do with this money? We couldn't think of a better partner to donate to than hospice, and especially the Center for Hospice Care in Norwich, because hospices are all independent.
Right, but
Yes.
this one is a very special one, yes.
It is, and I have to say, if you haven't checked out the garden that they are
Oh, yeah.
planting, beautiful,
Yes. Yeah.
and talk to them and ask them about the plans that they have for their new residents. This is going to cost, the last I heard, $8.5 million, which in my mind immediately means 10. And I've been saying to everyone, we need to help them get this built, because this is now, this is part of my end of life plan, is that this amazing organization is here and that I can be involved in them as I go forward. And the idea that this beautiful place would be here and so lovingly be designed and put together by these folks, I want to help them do that. And I think a lot of people feel the same. So you can spend, you can send them a $75 check, or you can buy a ticket to the Blues Festival, hang out with us and have a party, and we will raise tens of thousands of dollars to give to them as a group and as a community. And that's the way we're thinking about that right
wonderful.
now.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the sponsorships and some of the sponsors you have already.
Absolutely. Some of our sponsors, well, in addition, you've mentioned the Mystic Shipyard, which is fantastic. That's our venue. In addition, we have back this year F&F Distributors, who will be there with our making sure we have our beer, which is a very important part of the blues. We do want our beer. That's right. So we have them. We have Hall Communications has been very, very generous with us. The Crothers donating on behalf of MASH, very generous donors. We have Jack Daniels, Brown-Forman on this year. They're new. We're thrilled about that. And and if you actually take a look at our sponsor poster, there's a couple of dozen folks. It would almost be, as I list them off, I think, who am I going to miss? Because so many folks have come in not only with cash sponsorship, but with in-kind sponsorship. There's folks that are donating flowers and donating food and donating, tents and donating printing. ABC Photo has been fabulous. We've got our friends over at Old Mystic Village. Bill Doherty at the cinemas has been a huge supporter, and I should probably
and a big
mention
blues fan.
huge
Yeah.
blues
Bill
fan.
is a big blues fan.
That's right, and we should mention that the Thursday before the festival, Jim Weeder is doing a CD release, and I believe he recorded this CD at last year's Blues Fest. Is that
He
correct?
did with
Yeah,
Lou
he
Pereira,
did.
I believe. It's
Yeah.
a Percolator Pod. Is it Percolator? No, it's a new one. I'm sorry. I'm going back to his last release. But that is the night right before we all get started, so it's almost like warming up.
Yes.
So if you want to get your engines revved, that's a great place to do it.
Yeah. Allie, just kind of give us the times again on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Absolutely. We'd love to see as we kick off the music on Friday at 5 o'clock. Again, we're going to have Chris Lee kicking off with 8 to the Bar. That evening's going to wrap up with the Spin Doctors. And then we go into the next morning, about 11 o'clock we start off, going all through the day. Johnny Winter's going to be our headliner with Christine Ullman. And I believe Alexis P. Suter's with us on Saturday as well. If you've never seen her before, she's got a wonderful gospel-y way about her. She really brings a powerful performance. And then on Sunday, we're going to start again at 11. I think we wrap up a little earlier on Sunday.
That's right,
With James Cotton, we'll be wrapping it up for us.
Oh, what a way to
full
end the
day.
shows.
It
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
a
James
wonderful
Cotton.
way. And again,
Yeah.
it's his birthday. We usually
Yeah.
celebrate his birthday, so it's always really special. But I really invite everybody to check us out online at mysticbluesfestival.com.
Yeah, okay.
Not only can you see the lineup and all the information is there that answers probably every question you have, we also put together a wonderful little video last year that really gives you a flavor for really what was going on, and it's sure to get you excited about it. So we do invite you to check out mysticbluesfestival.com.
Thanks, Allie.
Thank
Just
you.
one quick question, Amy, for you. The shuttles, are they running every 15 minutes,
Yes,
Okay.
they will absolutely run continuously throughout the entire course of the weekend, so nobody will be left stranded anywhere. And we will take care of you and make sure that you get where you need to go. I should take 1 minute and say this too, because we keep mentioning, Chris Lee. Chris is our president, but
and hubby?
Yeah. But what I really should mention, and the thing that we forget to mention, is that Chris is a stellar guitarist, and part
absolutely.
of the and part
Thank
of the
you
reason.
for mentioning that.
In other words, we're led by a person who is a player, and that does make a difference. This is not sort of a suit person. This is not somebody who's just thinking about business. This is an artist who can really appreciate.
And an artist that's very passionate. I have to tell you. say, and that, you know, very passionate. Allie Kaufman, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
with
for
us
having
this
me. It's
evening.
been a lot of fun.
Amy Lee, thank you so much. Please say hello to Chris
I will.
for
Thank
me.
you
I
so
didn't get
much.
a chance the other night. And Hannah Stewart, I hope I get to work with you again.
I hope
Well,
so
we
as
can't
well.
let that Tricia get off a little bit too sometime. Maybe she can chant for me someday.
There we go.
We are Mystic Matters, the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening.